Hi guys, Tiffany here, and I'm here with Adele
Yeah.
Frizzell.
There we go. I
Uh,
did all, yeah.
I just want to go ahead and say that I'm pretty excited about this talk today. If you guys have any questions about anything, please do not hesitate to jump in the comments. We love interacting with you guys during these live calls. So today we're going to talk a little bit about holiday eating. Sometimes when the holidays are approaching, we find ourselves looking forward to that one pie or that one treat. These holiday feasts can be amazing. It's about gathering with friends, gathering with family. There's an abundance of food. There's the decorations. The ambiance is usually amazing, but with all of that comes the possibility of overindulging. And because we tend to overindulge during the holidays, that is when most people tend to gain half of their body weight that they're going to gain for the entire year. So we want to make sure that you guys are prepared and you have a way of navigating the holidays and being able to participate without that overindulgence aspect. So today we're here to talk to you about 10 tips for holiday eating. And I believe that Adele has an amazing PowerPoint prepared for you guys so that you can get a visual of all the different things that we're talking about as well.
Great intro. Thanks, Tiffany. I'm curious, in the comments, would you guys rather have just a few of your favorite things, or would you like to have a little bit of everything? What are you, Tiffany? What do you prefer? Do you just focus on a few things, or do you like to fill your plate with a little things?
I like to sample a little bit of everything. I think that sometimes, because a lot of the foods that we have on the holidays, you don't usually make them year round. You can, but the likelihood of you doing it is pretty slim. So I like to have a good sample of everything. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All the food. It's just not going back for seconds. So I'm curious, comment below what your favorite thing is about Thanksgiving. And are you a sort of a sampler, or do you just stick with a few favorite things? Let us know. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Just one moment to get this set up. Okay.
And let us know if you guys pop on at any time, even if you pop in a little late, say hi. We like saying hi to the people that do pop on.
Okay. So I'm just getting this set up now. You can see my screen, you can see me setting up this.
Yep, I see your screen and it is beautiful.
Okay. I want to thank Joan for her help with this presentation. She does such a nice job of the graphics and stuff.
It's very festive. Great job, Joan.
All right. So topic today in our Facebook Live is 10 tips for holiday eating. The first tip I can give you is really keep this in perspective. A lot of people, especially those who are watching their weight, get super tense around the holidays. They hate the thought of being around so much tempting food, but really, I want you to put this in perspective. There are 18, days out of 365 days in the year that are a holiday. We got Thanksgiving, Valentine's, St. Patrick's. Well, it's not really a holiday, but people treat it like one. You add it all up and it is no more than 18. And I would say that's even including going to a wedding and stuff like that. That's only 5% of the year. We don't gain weight because what we do 5% of the time. We gain weight because what we do 95% of the time. So I'm here to tell you to relax. Instead of resisting or fearing or even avoiding holiday parties and events because you don't trust yourself around food, I want you to say yes. Why not use these occasions as moments to practice the skills of moderation and mindfulness? There is room for your favorite aunt's beloved broccoli cheese casserole. There's room for pecan pie. In fact, holidays are a wonderful opportunity to practice the skills of maintaining your weight for real life instead of falling into binge restrict cycles where you stuff yourself until you're sick and then deprive yourself to make up for the guilt of overeating. Personally, I think you have to be a little bit masochistic to want to diet through the holidays. What do you think, Tiffany?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the holidays are such a small portion of the year. It just can be stressful because it does feel like everything is back to back at this time of the year. I mean, like you pointed out, you've got Valentine's Day, which is right around the corner too, and it kind of tends to bleed into each other. But it's like you said, it's what you do the remaining 80% of the time of the year that's really going to dictate what that weight gain or weight loss or even maintenance looks like for you. I do want to take a moment and say hi to Patty. She is on. Hi, Patty. Thanks for joining us.
Exactly.
And then Joan said that she prefers getting a little bit of everything versus picking a few things that she really wants to indulge in.
Great. Hi, Joan. Hi, Patty. So again, I think you have to be a little masochistic to diet through the holidays. We actually recommend our clients just kind of go to maintenance during the holidays. Why not have a goal of eating just enough to maintain your weight, as you know, and accept that you might even gain a little extra fluff if you eat more calories than usual, but it will come off. And we're going to talk about how and why shortly. As long as you limit your indulgences to a specific window of time, say Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, or maybe Boxing Day breakfast, you can have faith that most of your weight gain is going to be water weight. Those 2 or 3 pounds that, jump up the next day on the scale, those are going to whoosh off in a few days or a week, especially if you move and drink lots of water. So remember, it's not the day itself, it's all the days around that holiday that add up to the weight gain. In fact, the New England Journal of Medicine published a study of adults showing that the average holiday weight gain was just under a pound. Those who kept it on were less active than those who had, and basically people who can have it whoosh off quickly, they maintain their exercise, they maintain their activity levels, and they're very mindful about their portion sizes. What happens though with holiday weight gain, there's this 6-week block between Thanksgiving and end of the year, and there's office parties, and it just seems to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And people tend to be less active because their normal schedule gets interrupted through travel and things like that. So whenever you can, continue to try to exercise, continue to move, and just allocate certain days that you're really going to indulge and then get back on track right away. So water weight, let's talk about this because a lot of people freak out when they see the scale jump. And I just want to give you the data on this because I think when you understand what's going on, you're going to be less emotionally, emotionally reactive to the number on the scale, because you need to be able to think through this. You would actually have to consume about 3,800 extra calories in a day on top of your normal maintenance amount, store a pound of body fat. That, or even a pound of body weight, I'll say, because not all of that pound is going to be going to body fat stores. Some of it will actually go to muscle tissue. That's a lot of calories. For an example, if you can maintain your weight on about 1,500 calories a day, you would have to consume 1,500 calories plus overindulge by another 3,800 calories. So you'd have to consume about 5,300 calories to put on an actual pound of body weight. It's possible to put on a couple pounds or even 5 over the holidays if you're mindlessly grazing on rich fatty foods and desserts and eggnog and alcohol and nuts and chocolate and stuffing and gravy and other high calorie items. So it's really a good idea to have a plan to limit yourself to things you truly enjoy eating and don't go overboard. Be mindful about what you consume and savor it. And once the event has passed, go right back to your normal eating. So with that in mind, we got 10 tips to help you sail through the holidays and life celebrations with relative ease. Did you want to say anything there, Tiff?
Yeah, I was just saying, be picky, be choosy about how much you allow yourself to indulge at different events, because Christmas is only one day, but you may have a work Christmas party and a Christmas party with their kids at school, or a Friendsgiving and then Thanksgiving with the family. So just make sure that you're being mindful of that, because again, it's all about trying to set those guidelines for yourself.
Yeah, pick your battles.
Yeah.
First tip, emphasize protein. Eating 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal is recommended. Protein is highly satiating. It's going to keep you feeling full for longer. If you eat your protein first, along with your vegetables before the starchy carbs, you're going to likely eat fewer starchy carbs and dessert. Secondly, don't skip meals. Ideally, you want to eat something every 4 hours. Some people skip a meal in anticipation of eating really large for dinner. You can eat lightly, don't skip. Don't avoid eating all day in order to save up for dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that
backfire. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I think that a good example of something, because you mentioned the light meals, a protein shake with maybe an apple or some veggies, something really light that's going to hold you over and keep hunger at bay. You don't have to eat like a full meal first thing in the morning when you know that you're going to be eating a heavier meal later. But like Adele was about to say, it can backfire on you if you don't eat it all.
Yeah. You're just going to be extra hungry. And so then you'll be more prone to eating excessive amounts of this highly palatable, high calorie food and desserts. And you might even feel justified to do so because you were like good all day, good in air quotes. So instead, just eat normally or slightly lighter during the day and emphasize your protein and your vegetables until you have your holiday meal. Here's an example of a plate that this is what we would recommend to some clients who are looking to manage their weight. You want to look at your plate and divide it into sections. So half your plate would be vegetables. A quarter of your plate could be a starch, such as legumes, starchy vegetables like potatoes. It could be rice, it could be pasta, whatever you want, bread roll. You could even further divide that quarter plate. So you have like fruit might be 1/8, and then the other 1/8 could be something starchy. You do want to get your servings of fruit a day. And then protein would be a quarter of your plate. And, protein ranges from low-fat dairy, fish, chicken, soy, tofu, lean ground beef, that kind of thing. If you want to look at this in a little bit more detail, there's something called the My Plate Guidelines, and you can go to www.choosemyplate.gov. But if you're essentially looking at your plate and it looks like this, you're doing awesome. Now, if you're traveling, you could carry with you some protein bars, some nuts, jerky, hard-boiled eggs, fruit, a protein shake, that kind of thing. Having healthy and convenient snacks at hand will make it easier to stick with your macros than buying some junk food at the gas station when you're on a road trip. Carry your water bottle too. Drink a lot of water each day. And coffee, even decaf coffee and green tea, help to suppress the hunger. And if you're traveling, here's another tip. Try to choose a hotel with a gym. Bring some workout clothes, good walking shoes and workout bands, and get your workout done first thing in the morning. You're going to feel like $1,000,000 if you manage to even get in a 20-minute workout on Christmas Day. Seriously, you're going to feel so good about yourself, and it sets you up for making really smart decisions the rest of the day. Anything you want to add there, Tiffany?
No, I think that you've covered it pretty well. I did put a link in the comments for you guys for myplate.gov just to make it easier for you guys to access that if you wanted to take a deeper dive on that.
Great, thank you. Tip number 5, limit alcohol consumption. I would say 1 or 2 drinks. Alcohol is 7 calories per gram and almost no nutritional benefits. Even worse, alcohol can lower your willpower and cause you to overindulge in things you wouldn't normally eat. Our recommendations when it comes to alcohol is go in with a plan, how many drinks you're going to have, and space them out so that you're having maybe a fizzy water with lime, a diet soda or something in between those alcoholic beverages, and give yourself a cutoff time when you're going to stop drinking. I also do recommend drinking with food.
Yeah. One tip here that I want to add is if you are at a social event and you find yourself struggling to stay away from alcohol, grab a fancy glass, put some nice water in it, maybe from some flavored water, and walk around with that in your hand. If you have that cup in your hand, you are less likely to go for that alcoholic beverage that's just sitting there. So if you do want to avoid alcohol, that's one tip. Try to keep your hands busy, and then you don't have room for that cup.
And then nobody will know that you're not drinking alcohol.
True. If you don't want people to know that you're not drinking, you don't have to explain that to anyone.
Exactly. Tip number 6, we are circling back to something we were talking about at the beginning. Is it worth it? So when you're going to have that dessert or something, ask yourself, is it worth it? Pick out the must-have items you really enjoy eating. They should be like a 9 or 10 on the deliciousness scale. And that thing that makes Christmas or a holiday feel like a special occasion. I don't know, for me, Thanksgiving, I want pumpkin pie. But I do love pecan pie too. So I might have both. Those are like a 10 out of 10 for me. Anything less than a 9 isn't worth the calories. So save your treats and be totally guilt-free about it. You can also choose. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and it doesn't just have to be treats that you're choosy like this about. Be choosy with the main course as well. If you take a bite of the mac and cheese and you're like, the mac and cheese I make at home is better, then don't eat it. Like there's no rule saying that you have to eat it just because you put it on your plate.
Yeah, stuffing, gravy, any of those high calorie items, like make sure that they're 9 or 10 out of 10. We want you to enjoy your treats guilt-free, but we also want you to own that decision. You can choose smaller plates of decadent treats or make healthier swaps. And a treat for you is going to be different than a treat for me. For me, I like the sweet things. I also like my stuffing and stuff. But for other people, it might be tortilla chips, you know, that kind of thing. Light eggnog versus full fat eggnog could be like a swap that you can live with too. So what kind of swaps can you live with? And what are you not willing to sacrifice? Just have a plan and commit to it.
I think that that's key too. Like if you know that you're going to an event, really be honest with yourself and ask yourself and be realistic. Don't say, I'm going to avoid everything. I'm going to avoid the alcohol. I'm going to not have the pie. Set those realistic expectations and say, this is probably going to be here and this might be here. Out of the two, what do I want more? How do I want to handle this? And check in with yourself once you get there. Scope things out and say, and kind of create a plan before the meal even starts. This is what looks appealing to me. If I taste it and I don't like it, maybe I'll skip it. If I taste it and I love it, maybe I'll skip something else that's on my plate.
Yeah. If you deprive yourself of something that you want, there's going to be some pushback later. Like we've had clients who socially, they look perfect. They eat the salad, they do all the things, their friends are amazed by their willpower, but then they go home, they open the cupboards and they indulge, right? And something they would never eat in public, and they overindulge. We want you to start eating like a natural eater, like a normal person, and enjoying these things in moderation.
Yeah.
Tip number 7, keep moving. Okay, go for a walk after a heavy meal. Keep working out over the holidays. Find ways to get more movement in. Park your car further at the shopping center. Volunteer to shovel a neighbor's sidewalk. You're going to feel better and have more energy. In fact, the best conversations can happen when you're with a loved one and you go out for a walk. Maybe you can make it a tradition. After Christmas dinner, after Thanksgiving dinner, the family goes for a walk, that kind of thing. It can be really beautiful.
Yeah. One thing that our family likes to do on my husband's side is they have a pigskin football. It's literally a stuffed pig. And after Thanksgiving dinner, everyone goes outside and chases this pig.
Wow.
It's kind of fun.
It's cute though, to have these traditions. So tip number 8, get your sleep. If you've been working with us, you know we're all about sleep. It's like a fundamental thing for managing your health and your weight. And it can be hard when you're traveling. I mean, you might be sleeping in somebody else's bed or on the couch or a cot. It can be tough to get a good sleep. So you might want to bring an eye mask or your favorite pillow, your comfy pajamas, earplugs. Just think ahead. A lack of sleep is going to cause your hunger to spike and make it harder for you to say no to high calorie foods and overeating.
Bring your sound machine.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a funny story I have to share. When we were in Greece, we rented an Airbnb with Chris's cousin. He slept in the loft upstairs. This man had such terrible sleep apnea. We actually listened and were worried he was going to stop breathing, because he would snore and then stop breathing for 30 seconds. And then he would like, like he was choking. And it was so bad we couldn't sleep. So my husband looked on for an app with, and they exist, right? White noise, but he got the sound of rain. So he turned it on and he turned the volume pretty high so we could sleep because we had to. His snores were so bad. And so we were listening to rain and we fell asleep and we actually had a good sleep. And then in the morning, the cousin woke up and we asked him how he slept. And he said he had a terrible sleep. And we said, yeah, you have this problem. You have this sleep apnea. And he said, no. I thought that there was a water leak the whole night. And I couldn't sleep. And he was like looking for the leak and everything. I was like, it's so funny. It's like we were just laughing so hard. But anyway, off topic, but you can, like that white noise thing that Tiffany mentioned, you can get apps that play certain sounds and stuff like that that might help you sleep. So bring maybe your earbuds.
Yeah. Not make people think it's raining in their house.
Yes, exactly. So tip number 9, get back on track. Once the special event is over, get right back to your normal eating patterns. There's going to be another holiday or celebration soon enough. Tip number 10, have a good mindset. You know, enjoy these occasions. Go in with a plan and focus on all the things that you can eat, not all the things that you can't eat. Recognize you have a choice, and it can really help to say, I can eat anything I want, but I choose to enjoy X, Y, and Z because I'm dedicated to my health goals, and A, B, and C just aren't important to me right now. Remember, the holidays and celebrations with food are a normal part of real life. So have a plan and trust yourself to make good decisions. Embrace everything that makes the day special and really enjoy yourself.
And I think that it's important as well to acknowledge that even if you do go off plan, like we said, it's only a couple of days out of the year. Getting back on plan is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself. And it's very possible that you do everything right, but because you're having more carbs than you normally would, there's still going to be that jump on the scale. And that can be very frustrating to deal with your mentality, right? So just know that even if you are feeling frustrated, and even if you did everything perfectly, or even if you fell off track and feel like you did everything incorrectly, at the end of the day, it's one small season of the year. And just because you did it perfectly or just because you messed up doesn't mean that the entire year is made or broken at this point. You still have every single day for the rest of the year to wake up and to decide to prioritize yourself and your goals.
Yeah, well said. So if you'd like some specific guidance to help you with your goals, let's talk. We have a program called the New You program, where we provide completely customized personal training programs and nutrition programs and diet coaching. And you can learn more about it if you go to www.thenewuprogram.com. If you have any tips or strategies you care to share, please comment and we'll personally respond. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, I think that's everything. Patty did comment that she agreed with the glassware suggestion, so I'm glad that you agree with that, Patty. And if there's anything that you guys do differently, comment in the chat below and let everyone else know.
Yeah, I'd love to know how you're going to do Thanksgiving differently this year.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everyone. Just so you know, next week there is no Facebook Live because it's Thanksgiving, but we will be back in December. And actually, we're really excited about a series that we're going to be doing in December. We're going to have 6 Facebook Lives on the topic of recomping. What is recomping? It's changing your body composition, how to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, and scenarios where it's better to focus on just one or both at the same time. And it's going to be a pretty intense series, and we'll be doing it for 6 Thursdays. So
yeah,
we're
excited about it.
Yeah. All right. So happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.